So after my recent trip to California for an airsoft event, I was able to put the Maxpedition bags that I had bought recently to the test. On my side here, we have the Maxpedition Iron Cloud. It is approved for carry-on, but with the amount of gear that I put in it, it was just a bit too heavy and too bulky, so I ended up checking it in. However, you can use it for carry-on. This bag over here is also Maxpedition's Flieger duffel bag, carry-on approved. This one I did use as a carry-on. Although my last flight coming from Washington to Syracuse, it was a very small plane, so they ended up having it get checked in, but it wasn't a big hassle. Either way, I just wanted to do a video showing the contents that I have in there to give you some good idea of how much stuff you can actually pack in these bags for as small as they are. Well, let's dig into it. So the first one we're going to tackle is the Iron Cloud edition, as they call it. Again, this is approved for carry-on. Depending on your airlines, it might be a little bit too big. You have to double check, but for the most part, from what I could tell, it flies with pretty much anyone. I take American Airlines, and I'm sure I wouldn't have an issue. In this specific case, when I did my travels, I did use this as a checked bag. This carried most of my equipment for the airsoft event, and some stuff wasn't allowed as carry-on for, like, example, tools. So I just opted to pack as much stuff in here, gear-wise, as I could. So let's dig into it. I already unzipped it just for easiness, but with inside here, it gives you plenty of space. Now, if you ever flown, you're going to get one of these little slips that TSA opens the bag for inspection for whatever reason. So they put that in there to let you know. But to start off, got the uniform that I had, my uniform top, the pants that went with it, and my knee pads for that, as well as the elbow pads. Next, we got my little tool bag here, just a couple tools I would have needed to work on my AJ or other stuff if something came up. Next, I've got a little odds and ends things that I needed. For example, my charger that I could use in the car to charge up my battery, a couple attachments for my helmet and camera and stuff like that. Another one of Maxpedition's bags. Love these guys. They're awesome for organization. And here, just got some more of the things I needed. This is my toiletries. So, again, I could have taken that for carry-on, but I was trying to pack this bag up. So, got my little pistol holster. Got my helmet, which I inverted my glasses into. They got my extra glasses set as well. Here's those. My goggles, not my glasses, sorry. Got the vest for Desert Fox. You need to have that. My Protect barrel bag. More of my uniform stuff. Got the Condor wrap. My sling. Part of that. Let's see, I've got one of my gloves. The other one's in here somewhere. My hydro pack. I bought some BBs while I was there. I didn't know if I was going to run out, but they had a pretty good deal on them anyway, so figured why not. Had the space. My extra BBs that I thought I was going to run out of, but didn't. This goes for my goggles. This makes it so it can actually attach to the back of my head, just in case the helmet attachment wasn't going to be allowed, but they seem to be fine with it. And then I've got my plate carrier with the pouches. Extra pouch. This was a pouch for a flashbang or a smoke grenades. We weren't allowed to use them, so I didn't bother putting it on. Got the head wrap. The wrench for my AEG. This is for the back of the stock. There's an actual nut, and this is the tool to be able to tighten that. Extra zip ties. Got my belt. The antennas for that. And my actual bag that I ran with. So that was all able to fit in there very, very comfortably. And good size. Now, on the top here, there's a space for a laptop or a tablet. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I don't know why they failed on this, but these don't have a lock on them. Unlike the other ones here, your main compartment has ability to throw your TSA lock on there. So if you're taking this as a pure carry-on, you'd be okay because you'd have access to it. But if you're going to check it in, I wouldn't probably put a laptop in there. And then you've got your top little pouch here. I'm not going to open this, but this little space here so you can put like a notepad or a little pen. So on the sides, I didn't use these, but they've got little pouches here that you could put. There's a good amount of space in here that you could put stuff. So if you didn't overstuff it like I did, you could probably use that for more organization. So again, that's the Iron Cloud. There's also some space up in here for some small things as well as up in there, for even more organization. That's a Cloud, and that's all the stuff that I had in there. So now we get into the second bag, the Flieger Duffel Adventure Bag, as it's called. This is the second trip actually I've taken with this bag as a carry-on, and I absolutely love it. It's a little smaller than the Iron Cloud as far as size, but it still packs a pretty good punch. The amount of stuff I put in here is not by far the maximum amount it can hold. It was just the remainder of the stuff that I need to take with me. So I've already undone the zipper. In the top pouch here, this is just your quick, easy access. That's where I usually put like pad, a paper, a pen. In this case, I had my little selfie stick that I took with me, this side thing. And then, of course, I have my bag. I have a flashlight. I also have a little power pack. I think it's 10,000 milliamp or something, but it's something that I used for just keeping my phone charged. Some airlines will have ability to charge right in them. They've got like a USB and also like your regular outlet, but not all do. Even with American Airlines, it's kind of funny. It's probably the more modern day ones, but nonetheless, it's good to have. So, but this pouch goes pretty deep. You can fit a lot in there. So, as we open it up, got my case for these are my cameras. Have a bag. These were just snacks. I took some peanuts and all that for both on the field and during the flights. If you're taking night flights, you'll find that there's not very many things that'll be open as far as restaurants, especially if you're on smaller airports. If you're not on your big international ones, there won't be much options. So I highly recommend you bring some goodies to lunch on. Next, I've got just some clothing. These are my socks, underwears. The boots that I wore at the event. Now you could do like I did when I first went down. I wore the boots and then put my shoes in here to give yourself more space, but as you can see, I had plenty. This all was my electronical stuff. One thing to make note, if in the case like with this where it was my carry-on, it wasn't a big deal, but on my last flight where they had to check it in, my loose batteries, I had to take this pouch out. So it's kind of why I recommend just doing some type of organizational aspect instead of just throwing everything in there, because that would have been a pain just trying to grab all this loose stuff and find it. This I was able just to grab and go. But within here I had it broken down to a smaller bag, and I even had just a little one that had like all my cords and everything. So that way I was able to just grab and go. And then finally I had like my jeans, other shirts, stuff that I could wear off the field, and my little dresser valet. As well, they've got some little pouches up in here. That's where I just kind of threw random stuff, my keys at the time. On the other side I had my little GPS unit, which I had put some styrofoam around just for the protection aspect, and it worked out in the last flight when I had to actually check it in just to keep it from getting ruined. So again, there's quite a bit of space in here. You've got even your front pouch here with a little more organization, so if you didn't overpack it, you can try to even break it down further into your organizational. And on the other side, I just bought this. This didn't come with it. It's just your Maxpeditions water bottle carrier. That's where I had that for within the different flights. You can't take liquids in with you, but you can take an empty bottle. So that way when you get past TSA, then you can fill up the water, and it just saves from having to overpay for the water bottles at the airports. So that's the second bag, and as you can see, I was able to get quite a bit just with that. So hopefully this helps you and gives you a good idea on them. We'll see you soon.